Now, I know every place has its setbacks, but I can't help but to think as I'm like sitting here and I'm doing some work for my dog channel, I can't help but to think and reflect on not hearing sirens. It's a Monday afternoon in July. The window's open. I have heard, and I've been up since 6:30 this morning. I've only heard one ambulance the entire time. And I can't help but to think just about like how living in the States, it creates a certain level of angst and anxiety when you hear those fire alarms and when you hear that. Here, this to me resembles peace and quiet, but it's still lively. Like if you look at some of the previous like clips, you'll see that the cafes are bustling with people, right? People are out living their lives. They're out and about. But here I'm doing some work and I've only heard one ambulance, or it could have been the police. I'm not sure because I didn't even get up to go look, right? But hearing it, sitting in it, being in it, when I was in the States, it just created such like, even if within the mind, oh, what happened there? What's going on? Or the other question that would play in my head is like, there's another one or another statement. There's another fire, or there's another accident. Something else has happened, right? So I'm just encouraging you all to get out and travel, because I'm gonna be straight up. This is my second time coming to France. I've been here before, but this is the second time, and the very first time actually in this region. I am in the Normandy region. Absolutely beautiful. Get out of the States, travel, see what the world has to offer. Because honestly, even coming from Vietnam, so my trip was this. I left Seattle, stopped in Montreal, was in Montreal for a few weeks. That was like a second home to me growing up. I would go there in the summers that I didn't go to Canada. Summers that my sister and I, we didn't go to California to spend time with our other side of the family. We would go to Canada. So Montreal, that was my first stop on this leg of my journey. Montreal has changed, and I realized that it's not the city that I would want to live in long term, simply due to the fact that the winters are so harsh, incredibly harsh, and I don't want that. And I also noticed that the dogs were not friendly towards Jet there, right? Dogs spend a lot of time being cooped up in the house or in their apartments in Montreal, and the owners don't really socialize them as well. And then I went from Montreal to Vietnam. Being in Vietnam was a completely different experience. Being in Vietnam with a dog added an extra layer of challenge that I was not prepared for. And if you are traveling with a pet, please go over to my Roughhouser Schnauzer Jet Sea page. I will put the link in the description so that you can see and understand just the brevity of traveling with a dog. So that you can see the brevity of traveling with a dog and the complexities of traveling with a dog to Asia, and in particular, Southeast Asia region. So from Vietnam, I did a pit stop in Hong Kong, which I have to say, I absolutely loved Hong Kong. I was so pleasantly surprised about Hong Kong. Now that is one Asian territory, city that I would live in. Yeah. That's actually a part of China that I would actually really consider. If you are traveling with a dog to Hong Kong, depends on where you're traveling from. Hong Kong is incredibly dog friendly. I highly recommend visiting Hong Kong, and I loved it. So my journey did not stop in Hong Kong. I was there, and I am now in the Normandy region of France. This is not going to be my only stop. I am setting out to find my forever home. The U.S., I just have outgrown it. I've outgrown the people. I have outgrown the way that people think in the U.S. I have outgrown, the mentality. I've outgrown a lot. And I've had my share of challenges, right? I've had my share of financial challenges of living in the States my entire life. I've worked since I was 14 years old, and so I'm no stranger to hard work, and I'm also no stranger to financial burden. And after, years and years of constantly putting myself out there financially, I just have had enough. I gave it all up. Gave up my car, gave up my apartment, gave up my clothing to adopt a simpler way of life, but not a simple way of thinking. And I find that is what happens when you move and you live abroad, right? If you have the luxury to live in the States, which I honestly, at this stage, I don't even know why you would want to continue to live in the States unless you have aging parents or you're just a homebody and you really genuinely love living in the U.S. But that's a whole nother topic. But if you can afford to live in the U.S. and afford to travel back and forth, kudos to you. But if you are actually looking to reinvent your entire life and your entire way of thinking, then I would suggest you move. That's my recommendation. It could be, for you, it could be Vietnam. For you, it could be Europe. I'm in the process of discovering where that is for me. I do feel like it is most likely going to be Europe somewhere. Now, where in Europe? That I will find out. I don't know where yet. But I'm enjoying the journey. I'm enjoying the people that I have met, and people that I will be meeting, and the people that I'm currently meeting. I think it's night and day. And I will also state, and I will also point out that in the U.S., I started to take notice to this in Montreal, that in the U.S. is so incredibly superficial with how you look and who you date and how, what person you look and how you look when you date somebody. I can't believe I was stuck in that loop for so long. Right? I was stuck in the loop of how a person looks. Right, yes, looks do matter. Looks do matter. Right? But cute faces, fine faces will only take you so far. And I knew that then. But looks are the initial things that get you. But what I'm saying is, back to my initial thought, what I'm saying is since I have been here, I have noticed that you can tell that people do not really put so much emphasis on the superficiality of looks and dating and who you marry, right? It's what's upstairs. Are the lights on upstairs? Meaning, does this person, do they have their wits about them? Are they smart? Are they educated? Can they hold a conversation? These are some of the things that I have actually experienced here and seen here. And it's so refreshing to see, because I thought it was just me when I was living in the US. I really thought that, I just wasn't connecting. I wasn't connecting with any of the people that I would meet. There was always a certain level of superficiality that I encountered with people that I'd meet. And I am enjoying the fact that I don't see that here. I'm sure it exists, but I'm enjoying the fact that it's not the forefront. It's really not the forefront. And I mean, look at this. And it's a Monday. It's a quiet Monday. And I'm hanging out of the balcony, my little balcony window, and my little Airbnb is facing the courtyard. And it's relaxing. I don't ever remember being this relaxed. Now, granted, yes, there's a certain level of stress that goes into traveling when you travel, but I don't ever remember being this relaxed in the U.S., in Seattle, or even when I lived in California. I mean, honestly, it's just really sad that I wasted years of my life. Financially wasted years, and just wasted years of my life spinning my wheels. It's like what the sad part is that I would never waste time in a relationship, but I ended up doing that very thing because I had a relationship with living in the U.S. So I ended up doing the very thing that I would never actually do in a romantic relationship, wasting years. I actually wound up doing living in the U.S., which is crazy to me. So I encourage you all, please get out. The U.S. is not all the end all and the be all. Okay, there are other countries where the currency is globally traded. Excuse me. All right, the U.S. Yes, it is a powerhouse, but there are other countries that are also powerhouses as far as globally traded money. So get out. Don't just stay stuck in the U.S. My other encouragement and suggestion is, if you are traveling or if you are moving abroad with a pet, please check out Jet C's channel. I will put the link in the description below. And that channel is dedicated to the people and the dog parents and the cat parents and the bird parents and the ferret parents. All of the parents of furry animals that are traveling or moving abroad, I talk about on that channel how it is and what it's like traveling, and really just showcasing my experiences as I have traveled in the places that I have gone over the years with a dog. And I have traveled, I've gone to the UK. I have traveled to France. This will be my second time in France. I have traveled to Asia now. I have gone to Africa. I will highlight the pros and the cons of the cities that I have visited. I will also really just highlight everything that you would need to know about traveling with a pet, and just avoiding some of the pitfalls that I had to experience while traveling with Jet. So that is Jetsy's channel. I will put the link in the description. And until next time, I hope you enjoy this view of the center square in Rouen, France. Rouen, France, in the Normandy region. So, hope you are all doing well. Remember, get out and travel. US is not all the end all and be all. All right, bye for now. Okay, so it's 10:07 p.m. I just want to show you. And it's light out. I mean, I know there are parts of the Pacific Northwest that remain light until later. However, the sun usually sets at like 9:30 in the Pacific Northwest of Washington. I'm sorry, of the U.S. Pacific Northwest. And this, to me, it amazes me. I know that the further up you go, and we are closer to the German-Belgium side of France, so you definitely have you're at the northern side of France, but it still amazes me that it's still light out. And there are lots of people living life, and nobody's on their phone. No one's looking at their phone, staring at their phone, right? People are out and about, and it's beautiful. Okay.